Hello everyone. Just getting started and kicked off here. I'm going to be looking to ensure that I'm on Steam correctly. So, then we'll get straight to it. Steam is always the one that's like, doesn't always work how you want it to, so it can get a little bit choppy. Haven't quite appeared there yet. I'll show off our Steam page. I'll check the secret information back here. It says that I should be visible on the page, but I am not. Okay, cool. I am streaming to Steam because I can see it if I go straight to my page, but I'm not on the store. That means I'm probably gonna need to log in real quick to the Steam. Oh gosh. The Steam page here. Yes, I want to fill information in. Huh. I wonder why it's not working. It normally, oh, there it goes. See, it normally does it automatically. And I need my phone now. Let me go grab that. Okay, got a 2FA here on the side. Got to go to my special settings in my thing here and ensure that, oh, I am there. Me or Mari or Julian should be able to broadcast. Okay, let's see if it just took a second. Let's see if I leave and come back. Yep, it just takes a second. That's no problem. Okay, we can close that down then, and we can start. This is UGS. It's basically how we get changes. I'll put that to the side screen. It's how we push and pull down changes, so I can see if anyone's making changes that I might want to pull down while I'm working. What it's doing right now is it's automatically pulling down changes since the last time I started the program and building the game so we can get started. While we're doing that, we can do a little bit of planning. So the general idea I have is that they're kind of like these platforms. And there won't just be two, but and we'll kind of do this. These represent kind of grappling hook locations, and the general idea I have is like the worm guy is like right here, and he like will spit at people on the platforms that they have to dodge, and then it will like create like toxic fumes that like prevent them from having to stand on this platform, which will cause them to jump down. They'll shoot him. When they shoot him, he'll go underground, and then they have a limited amount of time before they have to grapple up before he comes bursting through the ground to deal massive damage to them. And so this will deal like less damage, this part, because I expect players to get hit by it, especially early on, so it'll take a while to learn how to dodge, and may even require some upgrades to be able to dodge it. So I don't want it to like one-shot the player or get them out of the fight too early. Whereas this one on the ground is kind of the one that's really going to be punishing to them, and it's going to deal a lot of damage. So basically dealing damage to him requires you to take a risk. And the question is like, well, players only have the shotgun at this stage in the game, so maybe they can only like reach this far, right? And so this mechanism should be a pretty good one to push them down onto the ground and encourage them to get close, shoot them, and then they'll probably fail the first time. We might be able to give some clues to the player at some point where we're like, oh no, get off of the ground, it's dangerous, and get back up on the platform. And that should be pretty good. The other thing I need to think about too is like what prevents players from like instantly just like they go up to the platform as soon as he pops up, they jump down and shoot him. That's probably the big question mark right now. But we can move forward and see if something comes to us as we're developing the abilities. Like perhaps like the ground is like lava or something after he comes up until he shoots or something like that. Or there's some kind of like additional threat on the ground that like makes you want to wait for this to happen, or maybe this happens so quickly that like it doesn't really matter if you start dodging immediately. So though we'll kind of get away from this like maybe like this like poison toxic stuff that he spits here if players are able to just jump down immediately. So the other question could be like there could be two of them. He could like attack you with his tail on the ground, you know, until he like shoots and he's like maybe he's tired after he shoots or something like that. So you have like an opportunity to get at him. But let's go to it. Okay, so I'll go to the dev map. I'm kind of have him just sitting out there in space right now. So what we've got so far is he will spit, and he'll spit it out about where his mouth is, and then he'll spit a projectile. So that projectile will be like dangerous to the player and may also represent like what causes the stuff on the ground too. So I guess what we really want to do first is to make sure that he can kind of look at the player. He'll find players around him, he'll look at them, and he'll spit the ball directly at them. And then that's what we can work on for right now. So his code is pretty simple right now. This is just so I can see the spit attack, but I just have to call the spit attack thing. It'll play this montage, which I set a notify to notify when he's at the right animation frame to launch the spit attack, right? And then this launch spit attack will just spawn my projectile in here. So we'll clean up this graph a little bit. It's kind of messy because I just collapsed it into a function. So that kind of messes things up a little bit. So if you grab things and you hit Q, they kind of like get straight by default here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this one. I don't like it when lines go through nodes. I just think it looks messy and it becomes difficult to read. So we'll do something like this. we'll straighten that one down. And these ones can kind of come up, and so now we can kind of see where all the lines are going really easily. This guy's both the owner and the instigator of the ability. We don't have any target applied gameplay aspects. We'll figure out how we want to do that. If we want to do a dot, we could do that. If we want to do like just some damage, we can do that. And then we get the rotation, which is all right. So now all we have to do with this projectile theoretically is have the guy face towards you, and then we probably want to like rechange how this rotation works a little bit. So like, because we're not going to have like I'm not a good enough animator to have full control over like when he spits like that, he spits directly at you. So he's going to kind of spit in your direction, and then the ball's not going to necessarily come out straight. Like it might come out at like a slight angle up or down. We should be able to have them straight looking on you, so left and right shouldn't be a problem. But the up and down is probably going to be a little bit off, so it'll probably like maybe shoot it a little bit more down. And we can probably adjust where on the frame he shoots to like make it more appropriate. Right now he shoots kind of like at a very horizontal spot right there, you see. So potentially we could try to make him shoot it when he's like a little bit lower, or we could even make it so when we make our pillars, you know, in the world, they just you know happen to line up the perfect height of his face, right? So it looks a lot closer. So we could just like be like, oh, like what height do we need, right? And then like when he shoots at us, it'll like look appropriate, even if, because he'll be directly facing on up and down, and then we'll just be at about the correct height here, right? This is a pretty far drop, so I may want to like increase gravity, or like maybe just like have it shoot down a little bit, just because the fall time there for the drop is pretty crazy. But then you know we've already kind of got the idea that like you can kind of like grab up there, right, and you could get it there. So like one question that I have is kind of like, would it be a lot more fun if they were like close enough to, if these platforms were like close enough together that he shot at you and you had to go to platform, until he got dazed. So like maybe, you know, first phase he gets dazed after spinning one attack, but as you get him lower and lower, he'll spit more attacks. So you have to like jump to jump to jump, and you can't touch the ground because the ground's lava at that point. Or if I kind of just want to keep it as like a one phase thing. It is the first boss. I don't want it to be too intense. I don't want players to get stuck here. I feel like if players get stuck here, they won't understand the full concept of the game. Let me turn this music down a little bit. Oh gosh, there's no way to turn the music down. It's just what it is. I'm like on my last tick here. Maybe I can do my volume mixer here. We'll bring this down. Should probably readjust my sound so they're all kind of closer to right. I mean, technically I should probably just like, everything should be more like this, right? Where it's like at a baseline together, and then I just turn down this. There we go. But that's unnecessary to be figured out right now. One thing at a time. So let's see how we want to make them look at them. So we have a few options for this. Let's leave a comment here, and that way, if what we want to do is when we're leaving comments is we want the other people that come along to not have to like try to understand what I'm doing here to realize like why I'm doing this. Otherwise I have to think, they're like, okay, what's he doing? Oh, he's getting the mesh, he's getting the mouth, he's getting the rotation in a forward vector, and then he's multiplying it by some amount and adding it, and then minusing 200, like, and then it finally dawns on him like this is like a just spawn location to be a bit in front of the mouth, right? Because this is basically spawning it like right in his throat, but we don't really want it to spawn there. It doesn't look right, and we'll have some collision problems. So we really want it to spawn like right here, but the mouth is actually like in here, so it'll spawn like back here, right? But if we can spawn it out here a bit, maybe we can like do some clever collision things to make collision a little bit less difficult. So there's a few ways to do things. One is we could try to attempt to do it all inside of the BP boss form, which is our actor and our character, right? It's the actual thing, right? Another really appropriate way to do it is to go to his AI controller. So AI controller, and we have the boss forms here. And right now there's no code in it because I just overrode. This is the one for the Scorpion, so it does some stuff, right? So we could additionally do it in here where we go by events and perception and so forth, right? And then the other option is these things called behavior trees. And behavior trees kind of look like this. And they're neat because they kind of have like a sequence of things, and you can set flags and stuff to determine like which paths these go down and so on and so forth, right? So you can say like, oh, like here you can see like it comes down and he checks that he's alive, because if he's not alive, like you want to stop because you don't want to run anything else, right? So if the first thing it does is it checks if it's alive. If it's alive, um, then it goes over here. It runs this. It says like, if I don't have a target sighted, I'm going to run this one, right? Which determines like, am I chasing or am I patrolling, right? Like, had I recently sighted somebody and I'm still trying to find them, or am I just running around? And then over here we have, I currently have somebody in my sights. I'm currently aggroed to them. How do I chase them? And then it shows like how to chase and has information on like how to flank and so forth, right? Which is why the monsters will flank around you. But this is way too complex for our boss. Our boss isn't like moving around on the ground. He's a worm that's kind of stuck in one spot. So really, we just need him to be able to like go underground, right, and disappear for a bit, and maybe like appear at certain locations and deal some damage, right? And we don't even necessarily need this actor specifically to do it. We could like make a copy that's just his head that pops up and hits you or something like that. Um, uh, so we can like avoid things like having additional collision or allowing you to damage that part if we don't want to, or we could try to make this guy himself do it. But right now we're just working on the spit attack. So how do we make that decision? So you can just hit this open blueprint editor if you ever want it. And the nice thing with the NPC is I can kind of see how we've done it before. And I didn't write this code, but like if I make it similar in a lot of ways, people should understand in general like a lot better. So we have this idea of perception. So I need to add this component because it doesn't appear naturally. And looks like it has senses, so it can have sight and so forth. What other senses do we have? Sight, team sense, touch sense, hearing, damage. So these are, I wonder what prediction sense is. So I'm hitting Control Alt here to see if like it has like any interesting information. I'm trying to see if I can find like what Okay, so when you set a new sense up, so we can just hit this one. This should add a new sense. And then we can say this is the prediction sense, and this may give us a better idea of how this sense works. Okay, how long is forgotten? Debug, it starts enabled. Yeah, I don't know. Trying to hit Control B to go to it, nothing's happening there, so Google it is. AI prediction sense UE4. Let's see. Nice, I understand, damage, hearing, I understand, prediction, here we go. This has the registered system to supply requester with predicted actors, predicted location, and prediction time. Oh, interesting. So this would be one if we wanted to we could use this perception to basically allow the AI to have a knowledge of like if the actor's moving that like, and I wanted to shoot a thing like shoot here, so we could like look at we wouldn't have to shoot directly at the player. So this may be something that we want, because if we're only looking at where the player is and we're shooting at them, the only way to kind of like get more accurate is to and like prevent the player from dodging is to either get faster or get bigger, right? And if those aren't very good options for us, predicting can also be a good method too. So the player's moving forward, we'll shoot a little bit ahead of them, right? Um, this can be like a little bit intense because if the prediction's too good, then like it feels impossible to dodge. Where if the prediction is, uh, not as good, it can feel really interesting. It's like, oh man, if I wouldn't have changed my behavior, I would have gotten hit, right? And you can do that by like slowing the particle down and so forth, and making the particle big and being like, oh, it shot at where I was going, but because I stopped and turned around, I dodged it, which will give the player a good feeling. So I think we're definitely going to want perception. So let's just go ahead there and add AI perception. And so this is my perforce. So it's just telling me to check things out. I don't want to check this one out because if somebody wants to go work on the NPC, they can. So I'll check out mine. It's just whining at me because I added this. I wish I knew a way, like to be like, just revert this without saving. Like the best way that I have is like compile, save, check it out, and then revert my checkout, and then I'm like back to an unsaved state. But I wish there was just like I could just go to this one and say like, revert here or something like that, or uncheck out, or get rid of my changes or things like that. Okay, so we got the AI perception. Because the thing I'm thinking too for the boss is I don't want it to be a visibility based thing because like I don't want people to be able to like hide and then the boss be like, where are you? I want the boss to be just like super aware of everybody. So I almost want it to like have a list of like constantly maintain a list of actors that have like entered a boss zone or something like that, right? Um, and like be aggroed and basically treat those all people as aggroed. Um, because the way we design the level 2 is going to be very important to like not give you areas to hide behind, right? That the boss won't be able to hit you on. I also kind of want to prevent you from being able to like run away or stand on the edge of the fight to like regenerate. I want you to have to like really exit the fight too. So that'll be like I think a bit of a challenge. We could do like an invisible wall trick, which a lot of games do. Because I also want people to be able to enter. I think I want people right now at least to be able to enter the fight mid-fight. But so how do we want the aggro to work? So I'm tempted to add just a like basically add a box collision and be like aggro box basically, right? And then come here and I like to like make to only do one here. So this would be like 32 by 32. So then as I'm doing this, like each one is like an increase in 32. But this like helps me like be exact. So now I know that this is exactly, 1,000 high. And then 1,000 wide, right? So I can do something like this, right? And then like the boss area is gonna need to be like much bigger than that. So like maybe it's like 5,000 on every edge, right? It's gonna be very tall. We probably don't need it to be that tall. So we can probably unlink here. Probably 2,000 tall is all I'm really gonna need. The boss zone's gonna be more like this. So It's okay if it's a little bit bigger than it needs to be. The big thing is we just don't want him to be, when we place this guy, or when we actually place the aggro box. Oh, we don't want the aggro box to follow this guy around. Oof. Is there like an attach or keep relative? Oh. So the problem I'm thinking of right now is like the way that we have it. This guy like moves around, right, in the world. Right, we can see here. If this guy like moves around in the world, you can see the gold box, right? It's gonna like overwrite more things. But really, I want to say like this is the boss zone. So really, I probably want to like create some kind of, I want to create another actor that I can set down and say this is the area that the boss is interested in, right? And like see if anything's overlapping this area, tell the boss that like it cares about it, or vice versa. Maybe the boss pulls from the boss zone itself. To determine its actor. So, but we'll solve that problem later. A lot of the code is going to stay the same, so I don't want to get too bogged down in worrying about that right now. So let's go to the collision of this box, right? We do want it to overlap. It probably doesn't. It doesn't need to. It should need to only overlap only pawn here. So because it's not going to care about any of this other stuff, if it's overlapping or not. Only characters, and all characters are every character is a pawn, so we only care about characters. We may even want to only care about player characters. So we could come here and create like a new object response for player characters, but there's another way to solve that, which I'll show you. So what we can do is we can so you can go here and then call the event. So we could do like aggro box overlap. Right, and then we can select it here. Another way to get to this menu, which I like and kind of tells you which helps you like understand components better, I think, is to like click here and then go down to the events that you can do for this specific component. So it'll only be for this aggro box. It won't care about all these other components that we've made. So we basically want to say like when it detects that there's an overlapping thing, we want to see if we want to cast this to I don't know, BP player. Oh no, we didn't call it character. Did we call it character or something? Character and character base. So I'm gonna quickly recheck what our organizer is. So I'm thinking like I want a higher level thing than just Murdoch, because like let's say there are other player characters and people we go off, so we'll probably keep character base. So I'll just use that because I don't need any Murdoch specific code right now. So we just want to say cast to BP character base, right? And that's like one above Murdoch. So if we ever go and we change it, so like if there are other characters selected and we don't use Murdoch as the base, this code won't break. And so basically, if this fails, it means that the other actor wasn't a character, so we don't want to do anything. And if it succeeds, we probably want to add a list of tracked characters. So I don't know why it does this sometimes, where I'll add a variable and it'll do this. So really, even though this is a character base, and I could do that in case I want it, I don't actually think I'm going to need anything about the fact that it's a character. So I can kind of get rid of that information that I'm storing nicely. So I just need to actually just store it as an actor. And then this, click here, I'll change it to an array, and then we'll just call this like targeted actors, and then leave a tooltip that's like Actors I am interested in attacking. Actors I may attack or something. And so so we do this, and then we add unique, right? Because let's say like you're already here. I don't want to re-add you. So we can do this, and you're like, hey, that's weird. Most of the time, I can only like move things, and if they're the same thing, and this is a BP character base, and this is an actor. Well, because a BP character base is an actor, this is allowed. And so then we can like add unique, and to be honest, I don't need to deal with the fact like whether or not it added. And then we're just gonna basically do the same thing. We're gonna say when you stop overlapping, maybe you die, maybe you're able to leave the zone. We don't want the guy to keep shooting at you. So we'll basically do the same thing. And then we want to say like remove item. And this should be pretty good. So we'll add you to the targeted actors. When you begin overlapping, when you end overlapping, we'll remove you. And so now we have a list of players that should be able to be attacked. So what we could do over here is we could say maybe the other thing I'm going to go over here is this boxes by in general are hidden or not hidden in game, so I'm going to get rid of that, and then I'm going to go through this line thickness too, and like make it kind of a chunky boy here, maybe even chunkier. Maybe even chunkier. Okay, 25 seems to be pretty good. Just so I can see this box as I'm testing. And I'm going to delete this. We're going to move this back just so like I had to walk up to the edge for him to like notice me. And what we're going to want to do instead is in the event graph, set function by timer. Or we want to do set event by timer. And we'll say maybe like once every like 1 second looping, like try attacking. So we can just say add custom event here. Let's say try attacking. Or maybe say like attack over attack target actors, right? And then we'll say get these, say for each in here. I feel like a for each with delay. So I'm thinking right now, like we basically like attack actor, and then we're gonna like want to delay for some period of time. But the problem is that the delay node, which I think catches a lot of people, is like notice this says completed. So when this hits here, it'll continue to go do the loop, and then this will fire like at some later date. So I should know a pattern for this, but I'm having a hard time for some reason right now. So we'll ignore that. Because we'll only have one character right now, we should be able to ignore this. And then we should be able to say start, I think it's start spit attack, right? So now what we're going to do instead is this timer is going to start every 1 second. It's going to see if anyone's in the target, and then if it is, it's going to start the spit attack. Let's see if we're right. We have one there. So 1, 2, 3, see nothing's happening. But if I'm inside the box, I should now be in the target actor list, and it will do its spit attack. Oh, okay, so this is where I'm talking about the delay. It's trying to do it every second, so it keeps playing that animation montage over and over and over again, right? So it never hits the part where it notifies and actually launches the attack. So this is where like we're gonna like need some delay, right? So I need to rethink kind of like a way to do this. So one is that we could just like, one is don't run it over itself, and this will work in the single player use case now because it will actually complete it. We'll verify that. We stand here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's gonna actually spit at me, and then it's gonna, after 5 seconds, it's gonna spit at me again. So so that is great. So the big thing is that like we basically want to say like when this is completed, if you still have more people to attack, like attack them, right? So you might think to yourself like, why don't we just like, why don't we just start spit attack here, and then like move this down here. Right? And so it's like, oh, well, when we spit attack, we want to spit attack at everybody, right? So why not do this, right? And then we'll launch a spit attack, and then it'll play it, right? And then, why won't that work? But what'll happen is that this pin will fire. It'll say, hey, I got to the end of my execution pin, right? Because these are latent pins because they have to wait for something. So really what we want to say is like next spit attack here, right? And like go down the list of actors. So maybe I don't want to use a for loop. Maybe there's a so we could like say like when you complete, if you have like more targets, then go for it, right? Which is kind of like what we need to do. So we want to say like, go for it, right? But we kind of want to pass in when we start the spit attack, like who we're going to be spit attacking, right? So like we need to go here and we need to say like this takes an actor. And we'll say target, right? And then we'll say like so one thing I'm thinking, we duplicate this, right? And we say current spit attack actors. So we'll say these are like people in the aggro box, right? It's probably a better way to think of them. And then this is like the current spit attack list. So then what would happen is like when we wanted to do this, we would like copy, we would set this list to whatever this list was, right? So now we have a copy of everyone that's in the aggro box, right? But we don't have to worry about, like, we're not like touching, we're not interfering with this right here. And so this gives us kind of a copied list of everyone that needs to be attacked, right? And then we can say like start spit attack. And now what we could do is we could say like, kind of like we want to do like a pop. I don't think they have like an idea of pop or something like that. So some languages I've seen, I don't remember which ones, but you have like this idea of like popping and pulling, or where it like gives me like an element off the array and then removes it, which is really what I want. So we can kind of see if Unreal blueprints have anything like that. Okay, I don't see anything. Let me see what other variable types we have for us. We have sets. See, I don't know why it does that. Sometimes, like, maybe if I compile, it'll stop. See, I'm not 100% sure what a set is. In Unreal Engine. So sets usually can't have duplicate. But is it just an array? Like an array that's forced to be unique? So then when you add things to it, you don't have to call add unique. That's the set versus array UE4. Let's see. I know how to create a set. I'm not that worried about that. I understand that. Set items that are unordered. Homogeneous, yeah, like arrays. Looks like a key value map. That makes sense. So it's basically like a map without a key value. Wait, blueprint sets are immutable. Oh, that's an interesting. So that just means they, yeah, which means they cannot be modified after they created. This is definitely not what we want to use, right? Because I can't remove an item from a set. But it looked like they gave me an option. Maybe this is all documentation. I thought yeah, I do have a remove. Like, how can I remove this? This documentation must be old. Let's go see what it says. It says 426. Editing sets. I think this has to be wrong. Why would they give me a remove option and also say that it's immutable? That doesn't make any sense to me. So theoretically, I could probably use a set. This worries me. Like maybe they're like, yeah, we'll give you a remove option, but like our set's immutable in UE4. Let's see. Let's see what people say. This is a different one, right? Yeah. Understand all of this. This is new information to me. Like the thing I like about sets is like the idea of like is you kind of have these like union and intersection functions natively, right? And it's already unique by natively, and it does seem like it's not immutable. So like it's kind of like I actually like maybe this would be better as a set, right? Like both these could be way better as a set, right? If I'm able to like remove and add things to it. I mean, yeah, this is an easy test. Why am I like freaking out? Let's change variable type here, right? And then we just right, if this is immutable, based on my understanding of what the word immutable means, this shouldn't work, right? Yeah, we can just cut that out. Cut that out, cut that out, cut that out. Actually, I don't need to cut that one out, so if I want to replace it later. I just want to say remove. I saw remove items pop up for a second. I wonder what the difference is. Is it just kind of taking a set? Oh, it can take an array in. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's not gonna work because I need to also. Is there like a for each? You can't do like a for each in there. That's interesting. Get. Oh, well, 1 second before I'm like too crazy. Can you not iterate through a set? That could be like an interesting limitation of a set. Yeah, you can't iterate. So yeah, I wouldn't want to use it for this. There's no like for each in a set. I could move it to an array, right? But that's like, I'm assuming that's probably just less efficient. But just to test our theory here. Let's see if it like blows up. It doesn't blow up, so we're probably okay. Can I like print? I wonder how pure print works. Is this gonna take me to C++? Doesn't take me anywhere. I wonder if that. What are my set options again? Difference, intersection, union, to array, clear add items, contains item. I guess I could just print this then. Actually, I wonder if I like. Yeah, I didn't figure. So we can do this. Take this time down to 1 so we can just see what they think is happening. So there's nobody. then I walk in and I am in. So immutability may not be what I think it is then, or the documentation may be wrong. But nonetheless, yeah, I don't want to do this. I don't think that it's the right use case. So we'll change the variable type back, and we'll go back to the way we were doing it. Oh, interesting. So notice this. I can't. You're like, oh no, I can't do it. And then I read it. Array actor is not compatible with BP character because I put this one in first. It thought that I was going to add a array of BP characters, and not all actors are BP characters, so that could cause a problem, right? Um, so I need to put that one in first to fix it. We'll select that. We'll hit Q just to line them up nice. Oh yeah, and then boop. You just alt click there to just destroy things. We don't need printing anymore. We're done testing. So now we're going back here. So I'm gonna see if there's something already in the engine. Pop an array element off UE4. See if there's something native. Not really my problem. Oh, I said and array. So, knowing a little bit is like sometimes you can like get the last array item. So I think you kind of want to like do this because otherwise, if you don't take the last item in the index, then like the array has to like reshuffle things when it like resizes, is my understanding. But if we pull the last thing off, it can just free up memory. And I don't even know if like Unreal supports this idea, but like, right, is like, let's say that we have like 1, 2, 3, characters 1, 2, 3 inside of our array, right? I'll put a C in front of them because they're characters, right? And then like, if I take the first item and then I remove it, right, then it wants to like resize. If it wants to resize the array to free up memory, it has to like shift. Like here now, there's nothing at the one index, right? But if it wants to resize it, it needs to like do 1, 2, and then it shifts these guys like here, is my understanding. So this would be like 2 and 3. So like the better way. uh, 0, 1, 2, is like you would remove this guy, and then when the array resizes, it just says, oh, I'm good now, right? So I think that this is more efficient. I normally have the idea of like being able to like pop off an array in some languages, but I don't think it has anything like that. The other option is we could try to iterate through the array and save like which index that we're on, basically. So we don't have to remove it, so it's not like resizing arrays, because I know that resizing arrays can get hard and it can cause some memory issues. So like if we just looked at the array and then cleared it, I think we might be in a better position too. So maybe we'll just do that. The big thing that we want to do is we want to cache it, basically. We want to cache this current spit attack list. So yeah, so I think actually we probably just put it down here. Well, I'm getting into the problem right now where I'm optimizing too much ahead of time. I should probably not worry about the optimization this much right now, because I may want to do it completely differently in the future anyway. Let's just get it working. So what we actually have to be able to do, I don't think we need this necessarily. I'll create an integer here. And say current index or something. Current spit attack index. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be the wrong way. I'll double check chat to see if chat's like screaming at me. Like, do it this way. Think about this. Nope. So we'll set that at the beginning to 0, because we'll say do the first one first. Because the nice thing is that the first one in the array should be the guy that has been in the array the longest, basically, right here. So then we come down here, and then we say, like, get, say, is valid index or something like that. Yep. So you say if this is valid, then we will if it's a valid index, we want to start the attack, right? And then we want to increment int. So then we just say we want to increment, and then we'll start the split attack again. Right. And so this shouldn't run if there are only one of us in there, but if there are two, so now I'm going to need 2 people. Let's see if I can run out of the zone fast enough. Oh yeah, he's got that 1 second problem again that we haven't solved, but we'll solve that later. Let's give plenty of time. Now that there's 2 people, we want to make sure that the animation can finish. So we'll play again. Gosh. I don't know why it just like will consistently do that. So he'll spit once, and then he'll spit a second time because we're both in there right now. And then I'll leave. And now I should only spit once. Look how laggy the second client is. What is going on there? Look how crazy far off it is. Maybe running everything off of animations isn't a good idea. Maybe it's doing something I'm not expecting. Though I haven't done anything with replication yet, so I'm not too concerned. But like, I wonder if I say like branch is server, or we'll say has authority, right? I should get used to that. The server is the only one that should have authority because it's not assigned to a. So my question is will client 2 even see anything happening now? Yeah, interesting. So server 2 doesn't see it, right? Because yeah, they're both getting different load times and stuff, so they're seeing effects happen at a different time. And so I really need to make sure that this guy is replicating right. So it does replicate. I don't think it's that I have to set the component to replicate, right? The skeletal mesh itself. I should turn that 7 seconds down so this doesn't take as long. Actually, oh, I haven't locked in. It's like it's still, yeah, even setting the component to replicate doesn't replicate the animation. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. this over here. Okay. So really what it's saying to get it to work on here, I need to like multicast. I want this montage to play, but then like because the server cares about listening to all this, so I have to like be like, if you have authority, then do this stuff, right? Which is one method, is I can multicast it and then have the server say it has authority. But people's animations aren't going to be synced up particularly well. This is part of like what makes gameplay abilities powerful, is you don't have to worry about this problem. So I could turn it into like a gameplay ability that the like boss worm has, right? And then like see like here it says like play montage, right? So it does, this will handle everything. This is what makes it so like when I shoot, it works. Like one of the big things now though is that I will have to use like I might have to like go back to using this thing where I catch the notify and I pass it inside of the gameplay ability. I was kind of hoping that like I like this idea of like playing the montage this way. And maybe there's like a play montage here that like see, I don't have this notify up here. Like these up here. It's like not listening. What is, maybe if I double click this, I can get more. Nope. want to solve this problem. Because I need to be able, I want to listen to that notify because I want to launch it at the right time. I could like time it, which is like annoying but possible. So I just say like, you know, go on delay for like some set amount of time and then actually fire, right? But I do like the like cleanness of like this, right? Like where I can come in here and I can just frame perfect decide like this is the frame that I want, you know. This frame is where I want it to appear, right? For the first time, right? And I want you to like get the mouth location like right here. Great. And I have kind of like set stuff up already, so maybe I just do it this way to like have this idea, right? Where like inside of the event graph, right, it will like notify its owner, right? But really then this owner is gonna have to pass it through like a gameplay ability that this guy's doing. I really probably should just move this to a gameplay ability. Yeah, see, he does the same thing where like he like plays the montage. He waits a second, right? Because he knows that's about how long it takes before like the hit should hit, and then he applies the gameplay effect, right? And really, he might want to check here that like if the player's still not super far away or something like that. Because this causes the effect where like if the scorpion starts his attack and you like grappling hook away, like even though and you're like super far away a second later, he still hits you. Um, so he activates this from an event. So he must have like a thing inside of the AI controller that like casts an event. I wonder why he does it via event instead of just like calling activate ability on the character itself. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Gameplay ability, so we can put some of our own niceties in there. It is a projectile, but there's always so much inside of this stuff that like I don't understand, so I think just having less stuff is generally better. And it's a lot easier to go down than go back up later, so, and take on things. GA, spit attack. So when we activate, we want to, see, I wonder what this anim montage does. Like, can I just set the one that I want? And then like listen to notifies? Like maybe someone's already done that. On to C++. Well, that's looking, let's see what functions I have. I have 5 overridable functions. Ooh, I'm lagging because it's loading Visual Studio. Oops. So I wonder how he grants the ability to the Scorpion. Yeah, he has starting abilities idea. EE ability system character. EE. So do I have a starting abilities already? Yes, I do. So I could just grant myself that. Yep. So I could be like, I just have GA spit attack. For some reason, I thought there was like a call that would like let me activate an ability. Maybe I could get my ability system. Maybe I have to do it through that. Oh gosh, I have 2. I'm not sure which one's better. Probably this one. Because I am that. Okay, so I could just say like activate GA spit attack. There's remote activation. I don't know. Whatever. Probably don't need to allow it. So this would like activate the ability class, and then I could like start to move this content in there. Okay, so I inherit this, so GA spit attack, this is an EE character, right? And that's an EE character, so I should There we go. Nice. Skeletal mesh. This is what I want. And then maybe I can just simply copy this in here. And the hope is that this simply just works, right? Access none. Trying to read property. EE character. Okay. No, let's just do it this way. And then like get my mesh here. Failure to find owning bus worm. Okay, so that's cool. That's what I expect. I don't have them tied in like the launching again. But it doesn't magically solve my replicated montage. Let's go in here and see what the anim montage. Okay, what was it called then? I really doubt. I'll just make sure that the gameplay ability is still firing. That this will solve my problems, but let's see what it does. See if it even will like fire. Okay, the gameplay ability is firing, but the anim montage is like, yeah, it's like not doing anything. I don't know why it exists. We can see in here if it does anything. So we know it says montage, so nothing's in there. We hit KO, there's nothing in here about it. Wait, why am I on the ability system character? I want to be inside of the gameplay ability. How did I get here instead? This is what I'm curious about. So what does this montage do? Okay, so he sets a variable for montage. Does he do anything with it? He does not. Yeah, I guess it's just a holder. That leads me to believe, like, do I even see people shoot their gun with grappling hook? I mean, let me run the same function. Make sure that this function isn't like, okay. So this function does work. This function is special. So we know the montage doesn't appear in the CPP, but it appears first in this header file, so we know basically it doesn't do anything. Other than like as a variable, acts as variable storage. Let's see how delayed this is too. I wasn't paying attention to how delayed it was. It did seem to be pretty, oh no. Okay. Let's move a little bit forward. Okay, it is delayed, so you can see the delay on the second character as it happens. But they are synced, so when the montage starts playing, it does sync it. And it does seem like if there isn't much of a delay. What is my network packet lag? Okay, once it's loaded the montage, I bet, and it's like in that second player's memory, it's like pretty dang synced, right? But I bet the first time, anytime I run, when it's not in memory, for client 2. Oh, what the hell? Was I inside of it? No. Yeah, see, the first time, it's kind of off a bit. The second time, it's also kind of off a bit. I think it's called net packet lag equals 0. Let me see. Nope, that wasn't it. Well, maybe it was. It's in sync perfectly. Well, not perfectly. Let's say like a 1,000. Something like that. Maybe it's net space packet lag equals 1,000. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so it doesn't seem to be anything about packet lag. I can probably set my packet lag down to 0. Yeah, even at 0 packet lag, like, there is some oddities. So now I kind of wonder if I was to come in here and just let the remote person do it too. Like, are they gonna have like pretty synchronous now? Because like the second guy should also try to predict that it's gonna happen. Yeah, it looks real good. Yeah, look at that now. That's pretty good. And I bet even if I went up to like, 500 packet lag. Yeah, you can kind of see it a little bit. They're a little bit off sync, and then there's like a resyncing moment, but it's not like a 500. It's not like half a second behind. And I bet if I went to like 2,000 packet lag or something like that. Yeah, it's not even a full second behind. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Yeah, see. So, okay, so that's kind of nice. Let's go back down to like a reasonable level. I like to kind of like keep it at like 200. Because it's like similar to like what most people will play at. It can start to tell me if I have anything wrong. So this does have a lot of advantages, right? The big problem is like without having like animation perfectness, like this calculation is going to be really wrong. Because we're able to say like right here, right when that notify hits, like do the calculation to determine where the projectile should be. Hmm. Like really what I would probably do is like get some kind of like socket type thing right here and just put it right where I want it to spawn and then just like line it up and then like time it right. Maybe that's my only option. Let me think if I can think of a better one. Because then as this guy turns, like he'll like automatically shoot at the right guy, which is great. Okay, we'll do it this way. I don't like it, but right. So we'll do this. And I don't know why it does that when you double click sometimes. We'll just like move it. And then we gotta get slow. This seems like a bad idea, but let's do it. Yeah, so this component won't auto-activate, so we won't have to pay the cost. That'll keep it cheap. Okay, cool. So now we have this spawn attack location. Which the idea being that we can use that to determine where we're spawning the spit attack now. I'll have to undo this stuff because I hate when people accidentally leave this stuff and you're like, oh, I figured out how he's do it, and then you find out that it doesn't actually get used anywhere, and it's like, oh man. So I'll try to pull that out once I like figure this out. Maybe we can at least use the animation montage to determine like how long it takes. 2.2. Yep. Is this guy an ability actor? I think I did make him. Simple projectile is an ability actor, so that's fine. I don't like the fact that I don't have like all my normal. Yeah, I don't have it anymore. Why not? Like when I'm in here and I'm launching my spit attack, spawn actor. Yeah, spawn actor. Spawn. Oh, these are ability tasks, so they'll probably get like special abilities. Shit. That's not the best. Okay, how do we do it in GA grappling hook? Oh, interesting. Cool. So it will like, that's cool. What this is doing is it gets the parameters from here, and then this. How does this work? Let's see here. This should have to like. Wait, it can just return a transform? That seems wrong. Get muzzle transform. Okay, cool. I don't know exactly how that's working, but I guess it just does have to return a transform. That's annoying. That I do not understand, but we'll just do it. And so it uses a spawn ability actor? Fine, we'll do it that way. Hmm. Okay, that gives us form. I don't think it needs any target data, so okay, what did I get from that? I don't know if I got anything terrible. I did get the ability from changing my class to the fact that this will probably just work now. So, which means I can like get E since we already. I like to print these ahead of time. So that way, if something's wrong, I just find out about it immediately. It'll also give me hints that this E character will like not be available. Okay, huh? I kind of think maybe it'll work. What? What the hell? That's awesome. Okay, so he spits and he gets really big. I don't know, dog. I'm so confused. Okay, look, this guy doesn't even see my animation, does he? Do I even do an animation on this one? Yeah, I do. It's just so subtle. He probably misses it because it's so fast. That's fine. Okay, what's happening here? So I think one of the interesting things I need to say like end ability here. no idea. No idea why it's doing that. Theoretically, since this isn't stopping when ability ends, I just need to end ability. Right. What the heck is going on? Okay, so what did I do? What did I change? So one is that I do spawn the ability after. I feel like when I just had this, it wasn't having that problem. Yeah, every now and then, the animation montage plays. He just goes giant. Like it's corrupted or something. Like this guy's second player seeing the exact same thing. Always at the same time too. Maybe it's like they're overriding each other, so if two animation montages play, it really gets confused. Let's go back to my BP boss worm here. I mean, it's got 7 seconds between each one, right? I really don't want to allow remote activation, I don't think, right? Maybe that's the problem, is I let him activate too. And then like we're both trying to activate. That's pretty good. Oh, nope. It's pretty funny. I don't really know what causes it. It's like his animation gets blown up. Nothing seems wrong here. See, he like kind of doubled up once there. Like right before it happened. I wonder if that's like a hint as to what the problem is. Watch. See, no double up. No double up. Third time, he does it again. He does it twice in one go and then gets big. Huh. If I stop letting the remote person run it. that code at all, do I still have the same problem? Is it somehow the remote doubling us up in some scenarios? Nope. He's about to do it. Boom. But why? Oh, that's an interesting thing. It's no longer looping, but the guy's still going crazy. What is causing this guy to, like, do that? Like, if I just... Oh, I'm so silly. Oh, God. Everyone's gonna laugh. Remember when I came over here and I was trying to set the thing? I never set this back to use the animation blueprint. Oh, my gosh. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm pretty confident now that things are gonna be okay. Actually, now I'm actually a little bit worried that, like, maybe none of this is working. Okay, seems to be fine again. Let's start closing some of this down. Okay, so we should be good here. Regardless of if it spawns or not, I want to end the ability. Pretty cool. Make sure the second guy sees it. Gosh. Where is the second guy? Yeah, he's over here again. Why? Okay, so the ability actor spawns, but it doesn't appear on the client. But I haven't messed with this at all, so I don't even know if I've told it to replicate. So I tell this thing that it in fact does replicate, right? And that might not be all that I need. Yep, there it is. They seem to be pretty well aligned. That's pretty cool. So probably what I want to do then for the spit attack here is let's just pause it. It's probably like after it shoots, I just want to replay this part do for every person that's here. So I could create like a section start here, I think, where when I play again, I just play here, and then I'm do, and it just faces everybody really quickly and shoots at them. The real big question is like, do I want to give time for rotation, right? Because let's say like you guys are standing on two sides of them, should you like spit, and then like you should probably like pull back, rotate as quickly as possible, and then spit again. Basically, I could like lerp them over this time period. So I could have like quarter-second time to spin, and basically say like spin as fast as you need to get there in a quarter-second. So like you start to, so he does this and he starts spinning at the same time, and then he shoots it out. Cool. Okay, let's make him fire at just somebody. So he sets them all here, right? But really we want to shoot the thing. So Grappling Hook kind of already does this. Let's see how we do it. Hmm. How do they do the melee attack again here? Because it's kind of similar. Oh, he sends it in with the gameplay event. Okay. So we'll just we'll do it the way we were kind of doing it before, instead of trying to use any of this weight target data stuff. So we'll just say like say print. Now we've done this. We can do this. And we know that it will be valid because we have set it. So we can, just in case, maybe it like dies in the middle or gets destroyed suddenly. We can double check for validity here. And we can say like due to invalid worm instead. I don't think that this will ever fire. But if somebody doesn't, like if it dies in the middle of it, and people want to do something clever, this will at least stop them from crashing the game. And we'll stop the guy from spitting too. So. Okay, cool. Promote that to a variable. We'll call this variable actor players actors to spit. Right. So we'll do that. And last index, and we'll get that. A copy of the last index, and let's do this because I think I'm going to functionalize some of this soon. And then we're going to get it. And then we're going to remove. Actually, no, we want to go actor by actor. We don't want to like worry about the array shrinking and growing. So this is going to start like getting rid of this. And we will just say something like empty. I'm going to say like is empty, is valid index. Yeah, we can just do like, instead of getting that full length, we just care about if there is a, if there's something in the 0 spot we want to fire. Right. And it's going to activate that, which lets me hop over here. And so we know that something's there, so we can say get some fire. Say look at, did I say look at? No. Base, rotate. Okay, let's see how we do it in the Scorpion. Oh no, base target actor is like this thing. Dang, that's rough. Yeah, this is what I was looking for, but maybe it's only inside the behavior tree. I look at actor. Let's see here.
Hey
See
guys,
what this guy
welcome back
thinks
to
is
the
the best way to do
multiple
it.
lines of code. Rotation with the object being the start and the
There you
player
go. Look
being
at
the
rotation.
target.
That's what I'm looking for. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I don't have it. Oh, because it takes two vectors. That makes sense. That makes sense. I need to get actor location here, and then I would want to get this actor's location. Right. Find look at rotation. Right.
So we're going to get the rotation between the object and the player. The return value of this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get an R_interp2 with this return value going to the current, the target, sorry, and the current is going to be get actor rotation. So what this is going to do is it's going to get the rotation between the object and the player, and then it's going to get that rotation and basically gradually and smoothly transition between the current object's rotation and that desired rotation that we have between that, meaning this is what's going to move us from the current rotation and the rotation we want to look at the player. So this is essentially like a timeline that we have other animations like opening doors and stuff, but this is just more smooth for this rotation. Now for this return value here, what I want to do is just set actor rotation, like so, and this is what's going to actually move the actor and the object's rotation to the face of the player. Just connect that to the custom event there, like so. And actually, if we alt left click on that, and then before we do this, we'll right click the new rotation, split structure bin, right click return value, split structure bin, and we'll just connect the Z value, like so. And what this is doing is we only want to rotate on the Z, so if the player goes above the object, it's not going to flip upside down. Obviously, if you want to do that, you can, just connect all of them, but if you only want it to rotate on the Z axis, which is obviously like...
Okay, I think I understand where I'm going, but I'm going to stop the stream here, and we'll chat with you guys all later.